working from wherever you are. That's telecommuting, where professionals complete their tasks outside of the traditional office setting. Growing up, your mom and dad will say they're going to work, and they go there from 7:30 to like 5 p.m. and they're in a fixed place. They're all together. But recently, that doesn't happen anymore. Especially in the writing industry, remote work is particularly blown up because everything online has to be written, has to be scripted. We have so much to do that writers can contribute in the remote community. Remotely, you have to learn how to communicate, you have to learn how to use digital technology, you have to learn how to collaborate, attend meetings, and execute your projects or tasks from anywhere you are in the world. Like I'm somewhere else, I don't know where all of you are, but we are all together and we're having a meeting now. So we are all training remotely. I would say the advent of remote work began or was escalated by COVID in 2020, when most businesses had to continue working, had to continue delivering without actually having to be in the same space. If you remember, you would have seen the birth of online courses, the birth of online academies, even universities in the Western world were teaching or tutoring online, and it went on all of that. So apart from COVID, we have advancements in technology, cloud computing. Cloud computing has made it so easy that we can merge, we can collaborate on tools without actually being in the same space. If you were born in the 90s or early 2000s, you observe that if you don't press Control S and maybe light goes off, you don't have a UPS, your documents get lost. I know most of you won't have ever experienced that, but that was how Microsoft works then. If you were not pressing your Control S always, the document will get lost. But with cloud computing, especially when you are using the Google Space or Zoho Space, you find out that the cloud icon just keeps ticking and saying save. Then the global workforce access. With everybody getting, will I say, traditional tax or traditional job descriptions shifting, there are more jobs now. You can hear of digital project manager. Then you only hear of I am a project manager. That means you're either working with the World Bank or you're working with the state government or you're working with a contractor or something. But now there's so many jobs that have come up and geographical limitations are no more there. Flexible work arrangements has also helped remote work grow properly. Then cost, of course. If you are working physically, there is this transportation cost, there's office space cost, utility, and lots more. But if you're working remotely, your transportation cost is basically non-existent. Your cost now converts to lighting and data costs. And presently, data has shown that 70% of professionals work remotely at least once a week. That's why you hear of hybrid. That is, you hire hybrid companies. Some days you come to work physically, while other days you work offline. So then 16% of companies worldwide are now fully remote. Like those of us who are freelancers, we work freely and for any country. Like I know Emedion works somewhere in the US, I work somewhere in the US, we work on US time. We still work with other clients elsewhere, but it has made sure that everything has moved fully remote. And remote workers have contributed to productivity compared to in office employees. Now, let's niche it down to us, writers. Advantages of remote work for writers and virtual assistants: independence, productivity, schedule flexibility, access to global clients, and reduce costs, which I've mentioned all initially. With your independence, you can stay in your room or create a workspace and work professionally. Your productivity is increased, but you always have to create a balance. There are no office distractions, allowing you to focus on writing and client projects. Your schedule is flexible, especially where you are working and you are being paid by the hour. You can decide, oh, I want to work at night. And if you're that kind of person that works at night, you're able to put in your productivity then. Everybody knows when it works for them. But in all of this, we have challenges. Challenges of remote work and how to overcome them. First of all, the most important thing is communication barrier. Most people don't know how to behave or how to communicate in the remote environment. Let me just sidetrack a bit. I worked with somebody 2 weeks ago specifically on a data tax, and the client, you will drop a message and it will take 4 or 5 days for her to reply. And it really slowed down the job. And by the end of the task, she was now saying the job took too long. But most times you don't want to argue. And for me, it was not an Upwork task, so I did not see it affecting my JSS score. But her communication was so bad. You will say this is done, review and check, and she will be reviewing 5 or 6 days later. So you have to learn how to communicate. You have to learn instant messaging. You have to learn how to use video calls like we are using right now to communicate. Time management. You have to set your clear work hours. Like I said, flexible schedule is a two-way thing. You can either overwork yourself and break down, or you create your boundaries. So set clear work hours, use time tracking apps, and take regular breaks. Distractions. Create a dedicated workspace. Some of us may be parents here, some people here may be students, or you may be living in a shared hostel. So you have to look for a time that you have to work around it. So make sure that, oh, if you're distracted, take your laptop to a library or take your laptop to a shared workspace. I know that I think in with housing Oyo, they have a hub space. I think ALX has hub spaces in Lagos a lot and all of that. Then the final part, we are all human beings and we don't do well in isolation. You have to learn to make sure that you create virtual interactions. You network with people. Like, I don't think that some people have not seen in close to a year, but I make sure that I keep tabs of with them via communication tools, either networking or otherwise. We talked about tools for effective remote collaboration. In today's digital age, writers no longer work in isolation. You can see that. Let me take, for example, I could tell Emedium, oh, I want to write on my story, and we just have a rough draft of it. And you now see that in 2 days, Emedium has sent maybe chapter one in. Before, I would have had to go to Emedium and scroll through her laptop. But now you don't do that. You can collaborate virtually, and it helps maintain efficiency and professionalism in remote work. The first thing I mentioned is communication as a problem, but communication tools can help you stay connected across distances. I don't know if you've heard of platforms like Slack. Of course, we are using my Google Meet right now. There's also Zoom. There's Microsoft Teams. All these help you to have seamless communication. Then, depending on your team, you could have Slack channels, you could have Trello channels. Whatever team you are joining, always make sure to understand and learn about their communication tools. Because if let's say you're a WhatsApp person, but the team you're working on, all communication is on Slack. If you like, drop any message for somebody on Slack. They won't get to attend to it on WhatsApp rather until it gets to the proper channels. So always know the communication channels for tools you are working or for the teams you are working with. Then project management tools. They have Trello, Asana, and Notion. It helps you as writers to track your assignments, set deadlines, manage content, calendars, set up boards, and all of that. I don't know how we're going to do this because it's so wide. We can't, there are so many tools as writers we need to use. If you think you're having a problem using a particular tool, you can always research on it. Then you have your document collaboration tools. I think for now, because of its affordability, Google Workspace is the most used document collaboration tool. But still, when researching for this, I saw that the most collaborative tool was Microsoft. Yes, in Nigeria, we don't use it as much because of the payments and all of that. But elsewhere, because of its security, Microsoft is one of the most used tools. Then you have Zoho Writer, you have Dropbox. I know all of us know about Dropbox. And all these tools allow us with real time editing, commenting, feedback, and Google Docs, like I mentioned, is widely used. I don't know if everybody following so that I know if you are lost or we are moving together. Are we together?
Yes, ma.
Okay. Then number four, we have time management and productivity tools. Like I told you, time, yes, you have a flexible schedule, but at the same time, it would also make you to become a recluse or you don't manage your time properly. So let's say I give you a task now and I tell you that I'm going to pay you per hour. If you're not on Upwork, there are other tools we can use in tracking your time, like this toggle track I wrote. It's, I don't know, not that. You can use toggle, you can use Clockify. They help you track your time personally. Or if the person who gave you the job is paying you by the hour, they will sign you in. Once you start the task, you write your task description, you start play, and it's counting. And intermittently, it captures on your screen. This also works on Upwork, so to an extent. Then you have Google Calendar, which I say like is the most common because we use it to set up meetings, schedule appointments. Then Time Body is a time converting tool. Like I said, we are working over different time zones. Like you can be on in Nigeria, Nigeria compared to UK. There are times that we are on the same +1, while there are times during that time daylight saving mode, they are 1 hour behind us. In the US, we have some zones that are -6 hours. We have Eastern time zones. So if you have time body, it helps you convert your local time to your client's time. And you know, okay, this is 10 p.m. Nigerian time. Okay, what is the time right now? This is 8 p.m. Nigerian time. My client in the US, this is 2 p.m. for her. So you know that time body is really handy. You have to know how to use it so that you know how to work with clients across time zones, not limiting yourself to Nigeria. Then cloud storage and file management. I had mentioned Google. Google has a lot of tools. You have the Google Drive. Google Drive allows you save a lot. I think for every free email you have 15 gig. While on Dropbox, I think Dropbox gives you 5 gig only. Then OneDrive gives you, I think, 5 gig too. Google gives you the max 15 gig. But if you sign up to their paid version or their enterprise, you get more storage space. So no matter where you are, you have ease of access. Once you just log in, even if I'm not with my laptop and I'm somewhere and they request a document, I just log into my phone or wherever and whatever I was working on. And it even helps you writers know. Because let's say you were working on something on your laptop and you had to step out, maybe in transit, an idea comes into your mind. My dear, why not just open your Google Docs and start typing, or even use your text, your voice translator. You say what you're talking, or you say your idea, and it writes it down for you. You don't have to wait to be in that your fixed space. So at that point, you are not losing your ideas, like some of you complained the last time. And this makes sure that remote work is easy for you wherever you are. The top, remember one section of our topic talks about trust, and that is a big problem. Whether you are working remotely or virtual or physically, trust is an issue because you don't know who to trust. One reason I like working with Google Docs as a cloud computing or a cloud software is that I can limit access. I can give permission levels. I can check editing versions. If as a writer now, there was a version you wrote and you thought was not good enough. But as you continue the storyline, you now understood that almost that storyline made sense. Do you know that you can go back on Google Docs and look for that particular version, even if you have saved over it? It's available. So apart from the fact that it helps you get things as a community or as an individual working for someone or working with others, you have to make sure that your word is a bond. Trust. I can't sell a storyline to you now, and tomorrow I see that you have written that book or written that story under a pseudonym. I won't trust you anymore. So when you are being trustworthy, help build confidence in you. Your clients will know that, oh, this I have said to you is safe. And they might even want to let you in because some people can be writing and they're letting you in to correct, edit at the same time. So it allows your client to have confidence in you. It helps you strengthen relationship. If I know that I can trust you, if I know that your word is your bond, of course I know that anytime something is to be done, I can call on you. If you say you are going to submit by 10 p.m. tonight, I know that I'm going to get it. So trustworthiness is not just in character, it also deals with professionalism. Then it helps create engagement. Actively collaborating and participating in brainstorming sessions provide constructive feedback to peers and acknowledge others' contribution. There's something that happens among us, and we take it for granted, and like we say, it's Sharpman, but I see it as very dubious. Somebody, he still talks about your character. Somebody brings up an idea in an office, or you write a proposal. It happens a lot, and the next thing, someone else in power has changed the proposal name to someone else because you had access to that document. And unfortunately for you, when working with all these cloud and collaboration tools, the person who made the change is always saved. So if you think that you're being smart and you're using what's that Microsoft Word of those days, I'm telling you that you are going to be shocked because you'll just lose your job. Always set clear expectations so that you don't have miscommunication. You're always communicating clearly, be it with your publisher, your blog editor, or even you as a ghostwriter. Because there are many of us here who are writing for people under pseudonyms or as ghostwriters. Like I said earlier, you use someone's story and publish it, and the person reads about it. Oh, that's not good. And if that spreads, you know that you will never work again properly. So let's move to the key skills for remote collaboration. We talk about adaptability. That is your ability to be able to learn new tools and tasks. I saw a post of one of us here who said she's using Notion. For us who have a project management background, Notion is a core project management tool. But she used it to plan her schedule and to plan her tasks. So imagine that you just say, because I'm a writer, I have to only do with words. You are going to be left behind because you have to learn how to use tools. You have to learn how to move to the 21st century. Every day, new tools are coming. Just imagine you get a job and the client tells you that all tasks will be assigned to you on Trello. And I can tell you that some of you don't even know what Trello is. Why not experiment? Why not learn in your spare time when you are trying to rest from your writer's fatigue or brain? Just pick up something. Okay, how else can I improve my performance? And you see that you can learn other tools. Empathy. Understand and respect others' different working styles and their time zones. Remember, when we talked about time body, you have to respect time zones. You can't be because it is 6 a.m. or 8 a.m. in Nigeria, they are chatting with somebody who is midnight. She won't or he won't even respond to you. Because one thing I've learned working with the white, once their time is off, they are off and they won't respond to that mail till they're back on the clock. Then master digital tools. I don't know if some tools I'm mentioning here are strange to you, but I'll share this document with you so that in your own time, you can take a look at these tools. They're easy to learn. You can check on Google. And if you want trainings, okay, I won't go into that because that's not why she brought me here. Then now to you, Gong Gong, your best platforms and niches for remote writing jobs. First of all, where do you find remote writing work? Not everybody can work physically. There's some people who that immediately that he heard somebody talking about him being a project writer or seminar writer. That means in this university environment, he is always having jobs. He's in demand. But not everybody has that luck. So you have to diversify. You have to be able to look for jobs online. And that's where this course comes in. So we have freelance platform. The most popular is Upwork. Upwork, where you set up your profile, you talk about your proficiency, you set up a portfolio. That is a different thing on its own. I don't know if how many of you have heard of Upwork and Fiverr or Freelancer. Can I get some feedback on that?
Me,
Okay. Okay. So at least you have an idea of those platforms. Fiverr and freelancer, you have to show sample or you design what you call a gig so that the person is buying the gig. Let's say on freelancer now, I could write that um for me to write 1,000 words for you, it is this amount, and these are the things that will come with it. I'm going to edit, I'm going to all of that, or my copywriting task or writing a blog post for you is this. Yes, somebody can just come and buy your service on Fiverr and freelancer. But on Upwork, you have to use Connect to apply for those jobs. You write proposals, right? You get to see when you see the job that fits your, let's say your writing style, you apply for it. Then you have to go to content marketplaces. You can pitch your articles on platforms. You can pitch on Hotspot has a blog spot too. You have content writer. You have iWriter. You pitch your writing style. Everybody writes differently. So then you look for job boards. You don't just sit down. You always see there's Jobberman, there's we work remotely. Go online, search. People are looking for writers, not just story writers, not just fictional writers, not just erotic and not Christian writers. You could see that somebody wants somebody who will be creating a newsletter weekly, email content creator. It's funny, but it happens. Even websites, company websites, look for content writers. They work with the UX UI designers to write those things. Then, of course, we have social media where you have your LinkedIn, your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter. Like for me, writing is a problem. I have to take time to build my content. And some days I lose it, but I'm getting better at it. And I try to write and make sure that I post on the days I'm supposed to post. But imagine if I had a writer in as a personal support to me or a remote worker to me. And I'll just give the person a topic and she will write a viral post for me. So you just don't wait. Then explore hashtags, writers wanted. Go to LinkedIn. People are posting that they want writers on their LinkedIn pages. I think writers, content writers, there's so much good, and you can even translate into um, social media managers because already you know how to write this engaging post and you know how to do your search engine optimization. All of that comes in for writing. Writing is not just that bottle or that small place you had put it before. It's so wide now. Now let's talk about the popular niches. I'd mentioned search engine optimization and blog writing. You see, we talk about writing optimized articles for businesses and publications. Just imagine now, maybe the pharmacist organization had their meeting in Uyo, and you were told to write the summary based on everything that happened. You write to take your money home, and they'll just post it on their sites. Copywriting, which many of us know, you write for ads, you write emails, you write for what's this thing, you write for websites. You just try to write persuasive sales copy that would reach out. Just look at what Temu is doing. I think Temu is getting annoying to me because there's no how you open on Facebook. Temu is doing one thing. Somebody is writing about Temu. You go to I think the only place safe right now is LinkedIn because Facebook, I think TikTok, even Instagram, all has. I don't think you can scroll without seeing a sponsored ad about Temu. Then you talk about Oraimo. Oraimo is everywhere. Somebody is cashing out doing that copywriting job. And you are here saying, nobody has recommended me for job. I have not seen job. Are you out there looking for job? Technical writing. This involves writing manuals or documenting processes or software guides. Sometimes you open a software and you see FAQs. That's somebody, it's a writer who wrote that. FAQ, that is frequently asked questions. It writes about that. You see, you buy your television and you see a whole booklet. That's somebody writing. Let me talk from personal experience. Canva recently was trying to convert or translate into Igbo language, and they were looking for Igbo writers. They were looking for security writers. They were looking for full day writers. Imagine if you could speak one of these indigenous language or Mandarin, and then you can write in it. You are able to do technical writing for almost any product. Then you have ghostwriting, which all of us know, writing books for people, writing speeches for politicians and celebrities, writing blog posts for clients, and all of that. That one is easy to understand. Editing and proofreading. That is when you refine content for clarity, grammar, and style. Now, I don't think you have to, like, say, stress yourself so much because there's so many AI tools that can help you write. Like I can say now that I want to write this in Okunjo Iweala's writing style, or I want to write this the way um, Peter Obi will write. Do you know that whatever I have drafted is going to be refined into that way? Then it now takes you. You don't even need to go page by page, editing line, editing um, documents, and all of that. You can also use Grammarly. I don't know if you know of Grammarly. I don't know if you know about learning language tool. Those are tools that could work for editing and proofreading. It makes your work easy. That's why I said, as a writer, you have to be tech savvy because not only will you save yourself time and stress, you will be delivering good quality work. The only thing you have to watch out for is that you don't base yourself so much on AI. You have to make sure that you humanize your content. Then script writing, you have for YouTube, podcast, video content. TikTok needs people who are writing, who do script writing. Same thing on Facebook, all these are viral videos. With monetization on almost every meta platform right now. Script writing is one of the most in-demand niches because there's always somebody who needs a storyline, who needs it broken down. You can see an executive reached out to me and said, can you write something? I want to introduce myself. I'm not a writer. I told her plainly, I'm not a writer, but I could direct it to somebody who could do that. It's not that if I sit down and settle down, I won't, but it's not me. She wanted a video introduction on TikTok. This is what I do. And many people are doing it almost every day. You are seeing new content coming out, and you are saying you are not seeing job as a writer. No, then you are not pushing hard enough. Then the final one, which is a little bit more technical, is grant and proposal writing. Like now, you can hear that the US has defunded a lot of organizations, but still, EU is funding. TEF Foundation is there. There are a lot of foundations. Merit NG. There are so many foundations who fund people. Even I think in Akwa Ibom, there's something that goes on with the state government every September. People write proposals, people write for grants, and they get funded. If you are good in writing grants and training your client on proposal presentation, you will be in demand. There's somebody who charges 500,000 in Akwa Ibom State. I know him for 2 hours of his time. And what does he teach? Pitching and grant proposal writing. That is it. So you have to make sure that you look at yourself and say, how do I sell? Do I stick to only writing my own stories, or can I monetize my skill, earn from it, and then pursue my passions? Yes, you can say, no, I want to be, but you need money. And when somebody will say, I'm not motivated, oh, I don't know why I cannot write, then that means you don't like money. Money is, people will say, money is not the root of all evil. You need money to survive. You need money to fuel that your passion. You need money to publish your book, even on online sites. You need money. So let's come to the future of remote work as a summary. I've told you that you have to make sure that you are tech savvy. You get yourself acquainted with tools. You check out sites. You research how you can market your skill and monetize your skill. You don't have to sit down and wait and say until I get that's my publishing deal, or until someone says a lecturer calls me to edit her book, or a pastor says I should write his Bible verse or preaching, or a politician calls on me. In short, do you know how many politicians are in a state? Recently, I know that in some states there were portfolios given out. How have you reached out to many and say, okay, sir, I can always build your speeches for you. You proofread it and you get back to me always on time. I'm going to be timely. For every speech I write, you are going to give me X amount of money. So this is going to save your time. This is going to give you more time to bond with your community and do all of that. Because the future of remote work in the end is saving time. It all boils down to saving time for either executives, business owners, C-class, C-suite executives, writers, lecturers. The lecturers publishing books every day. There are content creators online. We have celebrities who are putting out documents every day. And you sit down and say, I want to only be a physical writer. You don't want to explore. You don't want to go beyond that. So now I'm going to stop sharing so that we can take questions. Then I'm going to love to hear your challenges as a remote worker, if you have any, and if you have experienced remote work. Thank you. Hello, are we still here?
We are with you.
Yes, ma. Yes, ma.
Okay. Okay. So have we experienced remote work? What are the challenges you have faced while in the remote workspace, or what is your challenge so that we could fine tune and see how you could get better?
Thank you so much. I'm Mobalaji Asikat Shobowale. Thank you for that inspiring presentation. I'm a writer and a writer basically. I'm on
Okay,
Upwork. So
okay,
the problem I have is dropping a lot of proposals without getting a job. So I got one sometimes that was in 2024. But since then, I've been writing proposals upon proposals. I've written some books placed on Amazon without sales. I noticed that the problem with Amazon is that if you don't use pen name, the book might be shadow banned. So those are the problems and challenges I face. So presently, I'm a content creator. So I try to get means from other avenue. So being a remote worker is not easy.
it's not easy. I'm happy that you're diversifying. You say you're now into content creation on Upwork. I won't
Yeah,
tell you that Upwork is so easy, but I
it is
could
not.
give you some tips on Upwork. First
Okay.
of all, I know that a lot of people who are saying that optimizing Upwork and all of that, and I can tell you that there are scams existing. But if you can check out your keywords that will
Okay.
automatically pop up when someone is searching for a writer in your niche. Number one. Number two, don't make your bio about you. Position yourself as a problem solver. Number three, which most people don't get to know, use your, let's say, your portfolio space. Most people try to use, they create a portfolio on Canva or on a slideshow or something and attach on Upwork. Do you know it doesn't give you that visibility?
Yeah.
Rather, go to where it says create a project and a portfolio, then start attaching your screenshot one after the other and
Okay.
describe it using those keywords of your niche. Then finally, whenever you are applying for a job, I know you will see jobs based on what your portfolio says or what your profile says. But you have to take a look at a little bit of the metrics. The first thing I do when I see a job is How many proposals have been sent in? Second thing I do is I check how much that person has spent. I check out the person who posted the job. What other freelancers who have worked with him? His rating, number one. If the payment is verified, number two. How much he has spent on Upwork, number three. His hiring rate, number four. Then at that point, scroll down. You will see activity on that job. You will now see if you have already sent out invitation and I started interviewing. Do not waste your connect on that job because already somebody or a few people have grabbed his attention. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense to you.
Exactly. You are making sense. I understand.
So on Upwork, you have to be smart because Upwork doesn't care. You will use your money to apply for the job. But I was lucky. Last week I applied for a job. I don't know what happened to the job. I found out that my 15 connect was returned to me. It's either the job was disabled or something, but I got my
Job was
connect
scam.
back. I think so. So, but normally, Upwork doesn't care. If you see a lot of scam jobs on Upwork, so you as a freelancer, you have to protect yourself. You have to be sharp when when you are applying. If I see a
That's
job has already 10 to 15 proposals, unless I have something extraordinary that will make me stand out, I will not submit again. I'll look for the next one that is 0 to 5. I don't know if you understand.
I do understand. That is the way to go.
So take a look at your bio, your profile, restructure it, keep optimizing, use keywords, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Edima,
Hello,
are we
ma.
okay? Hello?
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm not feeling fine, so I had to just go lie down a bit. My hand here, there's
Okay.
canola. I've been like that, they call them canola on it. So I've been in
Canula.
pains. Yeah, I've been in pains the whole
Mm,
day. So thank you so much for taking out time to join us. Your class is invaluable, and of course we have the recording. I wanted to add something to what Ms. Mobolaji said. Recently, when it comes to applying for jobs, I think throughout last year, I had stopped applying for jobs because of how frustrating it was that you would waste connect, apply for jobs, and no one would call you back or send you a message. So I stopped. However, there are people that are still making it on Upwork, and the full-time job I do is from Upwork. So I think that kind of made me relax too, because I mean I have a job going for me. But this is one platform I use to build my agency. So while I source for jobs on social media, I also have to source for jobs from Upwork, outsource it to people to work on it, and we split the money. So recently, before, given that, I mean, when someone just drops a job posting, you have to apply fast. If not, close your eyes and open, you'd see 20 people have applied, 10 people, 50
Exactly.
people, and all of that.
50 plus.
So I decided to, there's nothing to rush, because when you rush, having to put out a cover letter, it won't be so genuine. You just rush over the process. The things you're supposed to capture in your cover letter, you will forget to capture them. So I decided to, do away with the rush and take time to write a compelling proposal. Okay. I have tried this like 10 times now, and out of 10 times, 4 jobs have clicked within the space of January and February. Just having to write it genuinely. Sometimes I start with a story in the first line, because this is what will capture the client. Your proposal needs to stand out. And others that have not gotten responses, some have viewed it and some have just not viewed it, which is totally fine. It's very fine. But having to do this now, it even gives me joy writing the proposal. Before I entered this meeting, I had to apply for about 4 jobs, which I'm hopeful. And the way I wrote it sef, even me I shock. Before I would use AI to write my proposals. There's even this app, Paragraph AI. I use Paragraph AI to write my proposals. But these were just generic proposals. Because if you want to look at it, almost every other person is using AI to write their proposal.
Exactly.
You get. So what will make you stand out is you writing it genuinely. Don't worry about the time. If the job is meant for you to
Give me this
certainly come
one.
for you, I
Or
mean
you
to
give me.
certainly come to you. Please mute your mic. So that's just what I wanted to say. I hope you try it, because I mean I've done it and it's working. So I look
Yeah.
forward now to apply for jobs, because I believe God that this year is going to be a beautiful one. So Mama, you too. I know Mama, you sef, you na boss now. So
No.
Thank you, ma.
yes. So Ma, we have 9 minutes to go. You said you are going to give us the slides or the documents. I
Yes,
have it.
I'll share the PDF with you.
It's still the
Okay.
same one you shared with me now.
Yes, but I
O-
corrected some things today.
Okay,
I'll
okay,
share it with you.
okay, Ma. You can share that with me, so I post it in the announcement group. Then once the video is ready, I'll I'll upload it on YouTube and share the link with the group, so everyone else can, you know, learn from this. Thank you so much, Ma. I am very grateful. Like, I'm really, really grateful. I don't know what else to say than thank you. Thank you so much, Ma. God bless you
Thank you so much
and
for
ease.
having me, the Writers Committee, and also Studio Recovery, Emilio.
Yes, Ma. It's always a pleasure. I hope we get to meet soon, Ma. It's been a long time. We get to meet
True to that.
again. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone who had joined us this evening. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Edima. Thank you,
Thank
Bye.
you so
Christabel.
much.